What's up guys, this is Sean and today we're going to check out Clio 2 in IOI Resort City, Putrajaya. Let's go! So let's get our coordinates right first. So this will be IOI Resort City and the landmarks will be UPM, which is right here. Then you also have Hospital Serdang. And this will be the Silk Highway and the Best Raya Highway going into the site. And in total, this is a 788 freehold township where it consists of few components. So we can see some luxury homes here, resort homes. You have the 18-hole golf course there, which is amazing. They have the IOI City Mall, which has just completed their phase 2. They also have commercial offices. And the end, that will be Connexion, where it's the mixed development. And this will be the project that we're going to check out today. So right next to the site, within walking distance, we can reach this commercial area, which is part of Connexion. You can see like Zeus Coffee, Tea Life, My News, Mama's, Watson's, clinics, pharmacies, hardware stores and Starbucks also open up already. So those will be the retail, and for offices it seems that it's still developing. You have QDs already. So for the residents of Clio 2, this will be walking distance, which is pretty near. So this is where you can settle all your commercial needs. If not, you can go to the mall. If not, you can just travel to KL, which is not that far away also. Surprisingly, there's a lot of people. So we are actually shooting a day before Merdeka Day, and the crowd is insane. You have all the decors, and there's two wings. One is the old wing, one is the new wing. The new wing just opened a few days ago. Therefore, there's still a lot of tenants that is still doing their fitting works. Personally, I'm very surprised with the crowds. Wow. Passed by the shopping mall. We also saw some corporate offices, and we drive past this bridge over to this side where we have Clio and Clio 2, also Connexion. And this is a township that's around 16 years old only. The good thing about being in a master plan or a township as per se, we get control of what's going to be in front of the project. Then right behind the project, we can also see Unit 10. And always for township developments, we need to pay attention about the infrastructure. Roadways, walkways, the landscape treatments, all are ready before the site is. So that's always a good sign. And this will be Clio 2 altogether. So this should be the guardhouse, and coming in straight away, you will have the visitor car park at the side, and this will be the drop off. And I kind of like the texture of the red bricks. And we also noticed that it's a very long site in the size of 4 acres, consisting 550 units. And you have this natural terrain, and the team actually leverage on it to create the car park space. Then coming in, this will be the car park for residents, and the seating height is 2.6 meters, and adopted the flat slab system where the entire structural system is so tidy. And you have cement screenings, you have some epoxy lines only just for pedestrian. And because of the site being so rectangular, right, it's so narrow and long, in the center there's benefit where you have openings, very bright openings on both sides of the car park, and the ventilation is going to be awesome too. So coming in, this will be the drop off where you kinda have a high volume here, which is pretty welcoming, and I like that they actually applied ramp to the design. And so this is so gentle. I love it, and this will be the lobby itself. You have a double height volume, pretty welcoming, and you have the mailroom on the side. On one side you have the kindergarten. Yeah, so Tower A and Tower B will be using this mainly. Tower C, you have a separate drop-off altogether, and that is the disadvantage of having a site that is very long. So you have multiple checkpoints, but it also provides privacy to a certain extent. Let's go up to the facility floor. So we are now in the facilities deck, and the first thing you get to see will be this lap pool. And that will be the greens from Uni 10 site, which is the private education institution. Based on the assumption that they have the land that is in abundance, there won't be any developments at the fringe of this border. And this took me by surprise though. From outside, when you look at the project, you wouldn't expect such a space within. You have the timber deck, you have some sitting areas for you to relax. Then you have the bricks that is in continuation from the entrance going upwards to the facilities, and it also ties to the roof profiles. So there's a small kids pool there, then you have this lap pool, and it will be a different level for the wading pool. It's so quiet. Like, that's the background and the borders to the site. You can see it's all green. And I really like the approach of the handrail. It directly opens up the entire swimming pool space. Just that the location of the swimming pool, again because of the land shape, is smack in the center of Tower A and B, so it will be a slight distance for residents of Tower C to walk over. And in terms of garden units design, they are designed on a separate platform, so it gives you that sense of privacy. And they create more distance away from public using the landscape hedge. So right next to the swimming pool, this will be the multi-purpose hall. You can organize a party here, and you can have a poolside party already. And I like that they have this level of ventilation on top. And this is where the uncertainty of what's coming up next to the project. If it's a pocket land development, it means that that piece of land will have a different owner and developer. Hence, residents here don't get to really know or prepare for what's coming up there. But if it's under the same township development, it's only logical for the developer to protect the interests of their initial buyers. Now for this hall, they also prepared a storage area at the back. So in case if you have catering or you want to put in chairs or whatsoever in the future, it will be easier for operations. So next to the hall, this will be the gym. And you have 3 treadmills, bicycles, and some cardio machines, all facing the pool and the green. Very nice view. And this will be the free weight zone. You have your mirror here. And the ID treatments are still consistent throughout all the spaces, including the timber floor here. And right opposite the gym, this will be the games room. And you can see pretty much the focus on their interior design. And it's very consistent, it's very well done throughout all the spaces, where they include the very industrial look. Then next to the games room, we have a ramp here, which is nice. And it leads us to this barbecue area. And it looks like this is not the only barbecue pit, because this is one halal. And that's the beautiful part about Malaysia also, like our apartments will have non-halal and halal barbecue pit. We respect each other. And from this project, the nearest commercial center will be at Coronation, and it's around 5 minutes walk over there. But if you wish to go to the mall, it's a bit further, we need to cross the bridge. Then moving upstairs of the facilities, this will be an observation deck. And this is when you need to focus on the orientation when you pick your unit. So facing this side, you will have a lot of empty space, you will have greens. It's going to be so peace and quiet. But the other side, you are actually facing the mall, but you're also facing the highway. Also, the towers are oriented in a way to avoid the sun. And because of that arrangement, it created this dynamic spatial layout within the facilities that, so you have a lot of this angular stuff that's going on around. In some spaces it's really exciting, but in some spaces I don't know what's going on. And this platform above the gym itself is really an irregular arrangement where it creates this overlapping space that is very exciting. The arrangement of form also created this jagged apron between the residential block and the facilities. So if you were to demarcate this out for the garden units, the unit becomes too big. But if it's left like that, then it's a bit wasted. And we are now in the theatre room where it's located at the higher floor as well. So it's next to the observation deck, it's next to the library, and most of these spaces that is located above are the private spaces. And as mentioned, the interior design approach to all these spaces is very, very consistent. I can only imagine if I study in Uni 10, after hanging out in the mall, we just rent this place and we just play game here or watch a movie together, or we so-called do assignment. See, this is so fun. Then we are now in between Block B and Block C, and you will have a playground here, and it's a pretty advanced one. I think the kids will love it here. But just that it's too bad it's a bit of a distance from the wading pools and etc. because of the site again being too long. Next to that, the playground is also extended to this area where you have the seesaw, you have the merry-go-round and the swings. So it's pretty friendly where you don't have a very sharp change of levels. Then you have sitting areas for all the parents. Just that when you are buying garden area, there's a difference between facing children play area versus facing a pool. So coming out from the lift, per floor plate there will be only 8 units in total, served by 3 lifts. And you can see the arrangement of the tower itself is so peculiar. The entire circulation pattern will be pretty unique when you go to the unit itself. So in terms of privacy, it's 4 units per wing, which is excellent, and there's a huge gap between towers. So coming out from the lift lobby, it's very bright, it's very ventilated because it's directly connected to the void. And the corridors here are borderline single loaded, which means in one corridor there's only units at one side, and this will be the experience to the unit. So you have this long corridor and openings at both sides, all covered with windows. And this organic form of corridor is very rare, plus it's kind of fun to a certain extent. So the corridor width is around 1.5 meters, the height is around 2.7 meters. And this is the one of the very first experience of refuse, where it's located behind a decorated door, somewhat camouflaged so a stranger wouldn't know where is it. It's located inside like that. Ta-da! So it's all tiled up. You have a window there for ventilation, water outlet for cleaning. Nice.
So the unit that we're going to check out today will be Type A, 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom, 1216 square feet. And when we come in from the entrance itself, you can see this extensive living and dining space all together. Right, this space is going to be so amazing. Then you have the kitchen as well. Bedroom 2, bedroom 3, and the principal bedroom on the side. Then you have a common bathroom here, and there will be a yard space here. What I also like is this little space of storage area, which is totally underrated. And what's cool about a unit is because of its layout, it's laid at the edge of the floor plate, and it's arranged in a way where it almost have openings at all sides of the unit. Hence, it allows the room to be way more spacious. All rooms are located directly at the facade line, and all bathrooms will have natural ventilation.
So coming into the unit, you will have a foyer here, and this will be the entrance into the unit. Wow! So the door entrance is around 1 meters, and it comes with a smart lock. And this will be a nice location for you to put in your shoe cabinet or a side table before you enter the main space. And this is just amazing, where wall to wall you have around 6.1 meters in width, ceiling height around 3 meters. It's always a luxury thing to lay your dining and living horizontally across and just look at that view that you get. So this is the one facing Uni 10, and this is the bonus that you get to enjoy right now. But somehow I kind of wish that there is a balcony here. It would make so much sense. You have the tiles for your flooring, you have timber skirtings, then this will be the kitchen, where you have the 5-feet wall tiles. All these are provided by the developer, but just take note that there will be sprinklers here. So most likely the owner will design out an island here to somewhat separate out the space. But in terms of flooring material, the developer also applied different tiles of different color and different texture, because in the kitchen somewhat it needs to be a little bit more anti-slip. But what's weird is this is still one space. Right? whenever I do heavy cooking here, it will still affect this area. But something I want to highlight is it's very rare where you have openings on this wall, that wall, that wall, that wall for a high-rise project. So this is really exciting. You have a hood and hob provided along with a basin here. I think you can make the basin a little bit bigger for units of this size, and that will be the void. This will be the facade connecting to the yard already, and this is where you will put your washing machine. Yeah, pretty direct. I like that there's this set in before entering the space instead of just putting the door this way, right? The bedroom user will still have privacy, and going in, this will be the bedroom itself. This room has a width of 2.7 meters, and it comes with the cabinets, right? It also comes with the aircon points and the laminated timber floorings with timber skirtings. But in relative to the room size, this window is huge. Then going to the bathroom, you will have basin from Barreno and WC from Barreno, full height wall tiles, shower screen, water heater, and a frosted window along with the mirror. That's nice. And coming to think of it, just with a simple extension of the line with an extra door, right? This unit becomes a dual key unit. The selling price for this freehold unit is around 600,000 to 700,000, depending on which floor level you are picking. And if you go through the property portals, the rental returns here are pretty healthy. That's mostly because of the mall being here. It's also close to the hospital, it's also close to the university. So this layout kind of provides an alternative lah. If you want to somewhat buy for own stay or also invest, or you stay the small one, invest this big one out, or you want to rent out by rooms, a lot of things can do. And going into the other end, this will be the storage space where I really like. And this corridor width is around 1 meter, which is nice. And this will be the second bedroom. And almost the entire facade wall is covered with aluminium and glazing, so that's nice. And the width from wall to wall for this room is 2.8 meters, somewhat similar to the previous bedroom. You also have your shelf here. But this do not have its own ensuite. It will be sharing the same washroom with the visitor. And the specs are going to be pretty similar. Barreno, basin and WC specs are also the same. And last but not least, this will be the principal bedroom. The width is a bit bigger, it's 3.1 meters, and you also have the shelves all provided. Again with the massive window size. And a point to make here will be regarding the noise facing the mall, which is also facing the highway versus facing unit 10. Here you can still feel the cricket, you can still hear the sound of nature. On that side, you can really feel the intensity of the traffic. Next, let's check out the principal bathroom, which is located at the entrance. Full height wall tiles. The scale is slightly bigger where you can allocate this door here. Barreno, basin and WC, you have this vanity top provided along with a mirror. So the toilets are very, very complete, along with frosted window for their natural ventilation. Also an observation to point out, their spray painting across the facade walls are incredible. Wow, you see? So well done. And I guess that's all for the visit. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. 3 things I like will be the experience and the proven track record of the developer itself. So they have obviously done this before. With all their past experience from Puchong, where they have the commercial center, they have the malls, they have the residential components, and bringing all that over to this side of town, we can pretty much expect the same level of execution. And based on what we see today, the progress is looking very, very positive. You have the golf course ready, you have the luxury homes ready, the Le Méridien Hotel ready, corporate offices ready, and this is where they locate their HQ as well, right next to the brand brand new mall, and that's going to be the catalyst around this area. And very close to that, the second point will be this being a master plan development, where they pretty much have everything in control within their site. So for a normal project, if I have empty lands right in front of the project, I will kind of have that fear of uncertainty. What's going to be up? Is it going to be the same product? And will it cannibalize the existing investment that I made? But if it's for a township development, the developers will have it all planned out, and they will always balance between different components. Okay, now we have residential, at the same time we can launch some offices to kind of stir up the commercial activities. Then we have the malls opening along with the hotels, along with the corporate. How is people coming in? I also enjoyed the level of infrastructure built within the township itself, like the roads, the walking pathways, the street lamps, the landscape treatments, all are pretty well done. And the third thing I like would be the design element of the tower itself. First, it will be the shape of the land that is rectangular, hence you will have this very short width in the center. So what that does is it allows openings on both sides. So from the swimming pool, you can see that is opening, this is opening. From the car park itself, you can see openings on both sides. And to avoid the sun, the architect kind of orientate the residential towers in an angle, and that creates a lot of dynamism around the facility. Besides that, the floor plate also looks pretty cool, where the journey back to your unit is very nice. The corridor is almost single loaded, and you have only 4 units per wing. And when you go to the unit, the best thing is you have openings on 4 sides of the facade of an apartment. That is very, very rare. So without any artificial lighting, the unit feels so bright, so ventilated. So for the 3 things I don't like, number 1 will be the noise from the highway itself. Although it's a distance away, but by checking out this unit that is facing greeneries, I can still somewhat feel the intensity from the traffic noise from the other side. So when you pick units, if you can afford, if the premium is not too high, this will be favorable for me lah. Then the second thing I don't really like among the common areas will be those weird pocket space created when you overlay angular lines along with the linear lines. So the pocket space created are somewhat interesting. Some are well used, but some are not, especially for the ground floor units. When you have the apron of the building, that is very weird. It's common area and it's maintained by everybody, but it's right in front of your unit. You also have this pocket space that is sunken, but the leveling is not done right, so it's not as friendly. But I do see a lot of design attempts of inclusivity, but how I wish that it could be extended further. For example, the deck. So there's no way for a person in a wheelchair to go up the deck or to go in some rooms within the facilities deck. And the last thing I don't really like will be the township requirement in terms of construction duration. Like this township is 16 years old only, and it's pretty admirable what they have done. But in order to maintain the excitement level, it highly depends on the market, also the population around the location. Don't get me wrong, like the past 16 years they have developed so many things, but just maybe I'm comparing to their earlier works in IOI City, Puchong. So that one you can really feel the intensity of business activities, commercial trades going on all the time. But in terms of amenities, it's there. You have the hospital, you have the university, you have the mall, you have commercial centers. It's not that far away from another address. And I guess that's all for this episode. So shout out to the team for having me. It's our very first review in Putrajaya itself, and we began with a township project. Very cool. And also a bonus point, this is a completed project, so when you come and pick your units, you have absolute certainty on the view, on the unit layout, on the build quality. So that's great. And if you really like this episode, like it, share, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.